I see you, John. Okay. What am I doing wrong? I think you've got it on mute.
There we go.
Yeah, now I can hear you. I think you had it on mute.
I did. Yeah.
So how are you?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Good, good.
How long have you been at your new work location now?
June 19th. So
June 19th. Wow.
I think it's 6 months on December 19th.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And how big is the organization now? It's not a company.
We are at 30.
Wow.
And we've gone from, her and I were there.
Two,
and we've gone from 2 to 30 people.
Wow.
And I think we'll be, I think it was 30 by the end of this month, and then we have a couple more, 2, 3 coming in December.
Huh.
So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's like a small company now.
Yeah.
And you know, at one time we all knew each other and knew each other well. Now it's getting to know these new people, and our office space, we're outgrowing it because we're just in that temporary location.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 and 3 people in offices.
Oh, wow.
But we're moving before Christmas. So we are. It'll probably be the last week before Christmas.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, we're starting actually moving next week with 2 or 3 people are moving, then another group.
Where are you moving to?
Centennial Place, East Tower. It's it's over by the Eau Claire area.
Okay.
And it's between 2nd and 3rd, and between 2nd and 3rd Avenue and 4th and 5th Street.
Okay.
I used to work in the West Tower there.
Oh, so you're back home.
Now we're moving to the East Tower. Yeah. So it's an area I'm very familiar with.
Good.
Yeah. So all is good. It's still busy as can be. There just never seems to be quite enough time, but I've got some help now, so that helps. And just we've got larger capacity to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How big is the organization going to get? Like 40, 50, 60 people?
We only, no, we, just a second. You're already in another meeting. No, cancel. We anticipate 40, 45.
Okay.
But we also, down the road, like our mandate may evolve, providing the Conservative government doesn't access or something like that. But, you know, providing that we go along and do what we want to do and in our mandate, we have the potential to expand a little bit larger.
Okay.
We have a lot of they're called implementers, and there's large companies that do our work for us, carry out our programs, like EcoFit is one. I don't know if you've heard of them. Summerhill. They're the ones that come around and do the installs in your home and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of, like I say, 4 or 5 large companies that do a lot of our delivering our programs.
Okay. Yeah. And who does all your project management for you?
We're working, and we've got 6 project managers, 5 project managers, and they work with the contractors to deliver our programs.
Okay, good.
So, yeah.
So you don't need me to come and advise people. I was thinking I should go there and be coaching these people, but you've grown much bigger than what I was anticipating. I thought you'd be at 10 by now, trying to just keep up.
No,
you got 30, so.
And there's still a lot of stuff. I mean, we don't have the capacity to do. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff that they still want to get into that we haven't been able to. We don't have the capacity, but we're progressing. We're making progress.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll have to figure out what's missing and what you need help with, where I can plug into as a project management consultant or something, or coach or whatever.
Yeah, there's always a potential for that. We have a VP of corporate planning, and then we have a corporate performance, and then we also have a VP. Well, we haven't got him yet, but I think we're close to getting him. Is a VP of program design and delivery.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's the one that has all the project managers under that person.
Mm-hmm.
And for now, it's my boss that's been doing that job. So she's kind of been doing like 2 jobs. So she's really, really busy.
I can imagine. Yeah. I mean, she's got to get everything going. She's setting direction, plus doing the day-to-day stuff. So.
Yeah. And she likes to get out and speak and network and do things like that too. Mm-hmm. So, and we're trying to get ourselves known. We're not well known out in the organization. Yeah, we did have for, I think the posting is now closed, but we did advertise for board members, like on a part-time basis. Mm-hmm. It's really a volunteer board, so it wasn't something that was, sort of well-paying or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we got 6 people on our board, and we're hoping to get between 2 and 4 more. And we meet every month, and we're hoping to go down and eventually move towards meeting quarterly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what type of people are you looking for the board? Because Elliot does some of that kind of stuff, right?
Yes, that's true. They actually did up a competency matrix. I didn't look at it too closely. But I know they like people with the energy efficiency background. But what are they? I know the one thing they like on the board is an economist, even an economist in our organization. Yeah. You know what? I don't know offhand what they were specifically looking for, because I wasn't really involved in that process.
Okay. But if it's closed now, then I wonder.
It has closed. It closed on November 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah. I never even thought of Elio. I've been meaning to get together with him. I haven't done so. I never even thought of him. But yeah, he would have been a good one. Mm-hmm. We have somebody who, the chair is somebody who has dealt a lot with, he has his own energy efficiency, initiatives, and he was an ex-communicator. And then we have somebody very interested in
ex-communicator, huh?
Yeah. Communication person. And then we have someone that's involved in the electricity market. Uh-huh. We have someone who is from a law firm, or was, and we have someone that's a professor at the university in Toronto.
Okay.
And then we have somebody who's been she's been involved with municipalities for years, and she's well known among the municipalities. Mm-hmm. And we have her, and then one guy I've never met. Apparently he's been on a course, and he's phoned in a few times to our meetings, but not a lot. So I haven't even met him. Huh. Yeah.
So this is perfect for you, right? I mean, this is exactly what you wanted to get.
I think so, and I hope it will evolve into something more. But right now, I mean, I'm really busy with just doing her day-to-day stuff, keeping tabs on the calendar, and forever working on that, taking minutes of meetings and stuff. So I'm okay with that, but I also still do like projects.
Okay.
And once we get fully staffed, I would still like to get a little bit more into doing projects. But right now it's hard to find the time. Mm-hmm. But they moved me into management, so I was happy about that.
So what's your title now?
I'm still executive assistant to the CEO.
But
because of being in that group and working in that area.
Yeah.
She just told me this week that I got moved into management. So
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. So that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
And how's your sessions going?
Well, which sessions are you thinking about? These interviews, or
No, the one that you started in
course.
the one that you started in the fall in
yeah?
September.
So we have 3 people taking part, 3 students. Chris, you know from before.
Yeah.
Mo, who has a business called 1 Mile Circle, which is advertising locally, and then Eric, who I don't think you ever met, who is a concert pianist. And it's much better this time because nobody has like a full-time job or something. They're all working on these things. And so the discussions that we get into are a whole lot deeper and more focused. So I've backed off a lot of the training or the course content that I tried to get everybody else to do. And we're much more focused on actually making the ventures happen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's changing. And in fact, the stuff that I'm doing now, the research I'm doing now, is to put the first pilot online. So a pilot course of 4 to 6 weeks or something, leading up eventually to going back to the course that you did, but this time it'll be online and probably made up of 3 separate courses over a full year, because I realized that I was asking people to do way too much in 3 months. We just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
so what we'll probably do is the first part of it, what do I really want? And do that over a course of 3 months. And then once that's done, then look at, so what venture could be designed for you over the course of 2 to 3 months. And then the last 6 months is actually make that real. And a lot more stuff around peer support groups and masterminds. I'm experimenting with masterminds right now. And people are getting a lot out of it. So that's probably going to be a very big piece of this year-long journey.
Okay. And it still goes, this one is 3 months, like September to...
This one is, September to December 2nd is we're going to finish.
Okay.
But I was trying to do the same thing that I did before, right? And just do it over 3 months. But because we've got a smaller group, we're able to zig and zag as people need. So it depends on what they need. And like Eric, for instance, has flopped back and forth about, well, I'll do this. So then the venture was going to be this. Now the venture's back to something else. And you went out skiing one day. You said, I had the idea, John, and this is what it's going to be. And it's going to be really good what he finally comes up with.
But he definitely wants to do a venture.
Well, yeah, he always was going to do a venture. And it started off with, like he's a music teacher, but he wants to perform more. And so what should the venture be? And so it was going to be like, okay, I'm going to teach students. And there was one session we were thinking about, he likes to travel as well. So what if you took students and their parents to Italy or to France or wherever the music was created, and you guide them through the area, and you actually play in the spaces where the music would have been performed. I mean, how enriching that would be, just for people who like music, but also bringing the families together. And that was one of the big things he wanted to do, is how do we bring the parents and the kids together? Well, now it's gone to something totally different, but very doable. I think I think it's going to be really good for the young people who are getting trained and coming in and now need to know how to make the business work.
Right.
So it's going to be good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. And you still have Elio help.
Oh yeah. Elio's still helping. Marcel was involved with a bunch of other stuff with a cousin and stuff, so he hasn't been able to really do a lot. So, but with just 3 students, so it's just Elio and me and the 3 students. So it's.
And so Frank and Tony.
No,
not involved.
No, I needed to get it a lot more precise as we're going through stuff, not ad hoc.
Okay.
So it's basically me, Elio, and the other folks. And now I'm moving everything to online. So it's going to be all online than with, and exactly like this. I mean, you've experienced some of the peer support groups, if you can
Yes.
imagine that happening, but with a lot more focus on exactly what you need to get done that week or over the next couple of weeks.
Right. Yeah.
So that will change a little bit, where we'll have people on the hot seat. So, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, everybody will be focused on you, say, on what you said you were going to get done, what you got done, what's next, what problems you might be facing.
Yeah.
It's very powerful, the stuff that's happening.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it is. It is. So let me jump into the questions for you. I don't want to
Okay.
take too much of your time. So these research questions, really, I'm still focused on boomers, on people who are about to or recently retired,
Yeah.
and how can they have a life that they really savor, okay? Something that they really enjoy. So the first question is, what's the biggest problem or hurdle preventing you from leading the life that you imagine or desire? And I know the answer would have been different back in May to what it is now.
Yeah. That's right. I think my biggest thing is I don't know what I want to do after retirement. And I do not, I know there's times I'd like to have, extra time at home. And I say to myself, oh, I should have appreciated it more while I had the time at home when I was working. But at the same time, I don't want to wake up every morning with no sort of goal in mind.
Yeah.
And so I'm finding I'm still enjoying working. Working in the office is something I enjoy. I enjoy the people. And I try now to have, I'm still working overtime, but it's coming down a little bit as we move towards Christmas. So I'm trying to be a little bit, more reasonable with my time, and so that I do have some spare time to just go shopping or go meet with friends. Something like to get out and socialize.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I think that's the biggest thing, that I just don't know what I want to do, and I'm not quite ready to quit. And to be honest, in some cases I'm still helping my kids out sometimes. Not all the time, but my daughter, for instance, just got laid off yesterday. And I don't know if she doesn't find another job, well, guess what? I'm going to have to help out a little bit, right?
Yeah, and a lot of us are going to have to do that.
Yeah, and if you've got just on my pension, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
And having the income coming in for the next few years just gives me that little bit more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at the number of people who have said to me, I don't know what I want to do. Which is surprising on the one hand, but not really surprising on the other hand, because when somebody has worked in a field for a long time, they left behind their original ideas of what they might do, what they loved doing, to focus on that career. Now they come into the end of it and they go, well, I know I don't want to do this, but what else? It takes some effort to think back to what was it that you loved before, or what makes you really happy, and then to even imagine that you can do that going forward.
And I really watch a lot of what other people are doing. I just had a good friend retire, and he's he would be about 64, 63, 64. And his wife had never worked, but they're spending their time, well, they go here for 2 weeks, they go there for 3 weeks. They have one grandchild, which they help out the odd time with, looking after. They've got another one on the way. And they seem to keep themselves busy. Plus they moved to Drayton Valley, so they still come back to Calgary, and they always seem to have something to do. And I think that I know that in my retirement, I'm still someone that likes to be busy.
Yeah.
But I don't have to be busy 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah. You
You know, I
understand
can take a day off and sit. Okay, if I want to sit and watch Netflix for the day, I'll do that. But I don't want to be here every day watching Netflix every day.
Yeah.
You know, I like to be active, like to be able to go places, like to do things, or, you know, just be out there. Like a day of, you know, some people will hate this, but you know, when I take a day off and have to do errands and stuff,
Mhm.
I actually don't mind that at all.
It's a change.
It's a change, and I don't have to really think. I just have to, you know, get out and be outside, because I'm inside a lot of the time during the week.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that at all. Yeah. So I
Good.
enjoy spending money. That I do.
Yeah. Okay. And I never have. I mean, it's always reading or studying or, you know, coming up with different things,
Yeah.
getting people together to go in a certain direction, or, you know, those kinds of things. So, okay. So really, I mean, for you to live the life that you imagine or desire, there is nothing preventing you from doing that right now, other than figuring out where you want to spend your time. You know, so 5 years from now, you may say, okay, well, I want to spend my time doing X, Y, Z. You still thinking about I think you were thinking about like a little store or something, like online. Is that what?
No, I don't think I really was.
Because you had said, okay, now that you've got a job, now you can think about what it is that you want to do later on.
Yeah.
And what was that? What was that?
Well, I think all I said was that now I can focus on what do I want to do for the next, you know, to prepare. Like I plan on working, John, 5 years.
Yeah.
It may be longer, but I don't expect it to be any less unless something changes. But so I expect to be out there for 5 years. And I guess during this next 5 years, I should be focusing on, you know, what is it that I do want to do?
Yeah.
Because I really don't know. You know, I have friends that do nothing but travel. Do I really want to do that? I don't know that I don't know that I do. Yeah, so I haven't really got that figured out, or maybe I'll just be ready to pack it in and say I don't want to do anything.
For a while. You may want to, for a while, not do anything. In fact, I was talking to a colleague of mine from my days in Esso, and he was down in Phoenix, he and his wife. And he was telling me that they went through some, you know, preparing for retirement kind of thing, and they were presented some stats. And he says, you know how people say that they want to travel, and so that's what they're going to do in retirement. He said, what came back, the stats that came back, is that those kind of people do one big trip, and that's it. I was expecting to say like one a year, but no, one big trip, and that's it. And they go, okay, I don't want to do that anymore.
I've been told, do your traveling in your 60s and 70s, because when you get in your 80s, I mean, you either don't want to do it or you're not quite in shape to do it.
Yeah. In your 80s, you want to be close to medical care and stuff like this. You want to be back in Canada.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So any traveling you want to do, get it done, you know, like now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I enjoy travel, but has it, you know, I'm not so sure it's been a high priority all the time for me. Like I know, you know, when I was married, we didn't travel a lot just for various reasons, but it was one thing that I could live without it. You know, I like to go, I like to travel, but I'm also very accepting of the reality. If I can go, great, and if I can't, well, that's the way it is.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So one of the questions I'll ask you, and don't really have to answer it just now, but thinking ahead, is what are those elements that would make life ideal? Okay, so what are the things that you should have in your life so that you feel like, yeah, this is a good life that I'm experiencing?
I think that for me, this is, my own thing, but I think the one thing is having a partner.
Okay.
Um, because I think it's nice to enjoy having someone to do things with.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I probably said this before, but I shared a house with someone for the last 14 and a half years. And then I moved out on my own last December. And I enjoy being on my own. I like having my own space. But you know what? Still get together with them once in a while to, just have somebody to go out with,
Yeah.
Meet for a glass of wine, that type of thing. And I really think that I would like to have that in my life. So I think for me, that's one thing that would,
Yeah.
And you take the worry off your kids too, because your kids worry about you when you live on your own.
Mm.
And if you've got each other, it's, I think it's nice. And then you have family, family gatherings or, two sides of the family type of thing. And
Yeah.
you're at the point, if they don't get along, well, that's fine. It's not like they're kids and you're raising kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that for me is something that I would want in my life.
Okay.
Somebody like around the same age, you're either near retirement or you're close to retirement. And I think that would be nice. And you've got someone to go and, do things with, or,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I think for me, that's the one thing. And other than that, I mean, I have to say, I feel pretty fortunate. I've got good health. I've got, a pension. I've got, kids, and they're doing reasonably well right now. Like I say, the one got laid off, but hopefully we get through that and she gets something else. But for the most part, I feel pretty fortunate.
Good.
But I think that part is missing. Missing in my life is that I would like to
and that'll come, now that you've got this other piece taken care of. And for a while there, I mean, it was like taking all of your focus, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was.
So that's taken care of. And you were going to spend like the first 6 months, you said you're going to just dive in deep to make sure that, you are really prepared for this role. So,
and I really had to, because I mean, there was just work to be done. And and that's just my nature. If I'm in a job and there's work to be done, like I was working, I figured it out, anywhere from 11 to 13 extra hours a week. So on top of a 40-hour week. So it was around the 50 to 55 hours a week.
Yeah, which is, it's a lot. I mean, like if you imagine that over 5 days, that's 11 hours a day. So you were probably going six days a week.
Yep. I go in on weekends and I would take one day off, but I go in the other day type of thing. Yeah. And I just, that's just the way it was.
Yeah. And when you're starting something, I mean, it needs to be like that. Some days I look at myself, I'm supposed to be retired, right? I'm working full time. There was a couple of, last week and this week, it feels like I haven't even seen Marie, because I've been do this, do something else, and all. So I think I probably need to take a couple of days off and spend some time with her, because
yeah, because you are busy. I mean, all the stuff you've been doing on this program, and that takes an awful lot of time.
It does.
Yeah.
So but anyway, okay. So we're almost at a half an hour here. Thank you very much for participating in this.
You're welcome.
And sharing your input. I have to, once I do all the interviews, then I got to go back and look at what people actually said and so on, and say, okay, so what is it that people are looking at? But my sense right now is, and I'd say like 50% maybe. are saying, I don't know what I want,
Mm-hmm.
which for me is a little bit surprising because I kind of knew what I wanted even before I retired like 5 years ago. And it was play at creation. So that was something that was building for a long time.
Yeah.
But for somebody else who wasn't in that mode, who was really focused on work and so on, they come to the end of it and they go, now what? And
Mm-hmm.
I know some friends are saying they can just continue working because they don't know what they want to do.
Well, I'm watching my sister very closely. She's going to retire. She's 3 years older than me, and she's going to retire. Um, let me see. She'll finish this year teaching, and she may work for another year, but she may also retire. It's hard to say.
Okay.
But I'll watch how it works out for her,
Mm-hmm.
because I think too she's got some issues to deal with. She lives in Winnipeg, and of all places, but they have a house at the lake.
Okay. Yeah.
About 2.5 hours from Winnipeg, and her husband has been retired for about 10 years now, and he's kind of spends a lot of his time. She goes out on weekends, but he spends a lot of his time at the lake. He does come in to Winnipeg, but a lot of times he's kind of built his new set of friends out there and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
she's
yeah.
part of that, but she not there as often as he is. But that's become like home for him. And I think she's a busier type of person than I am.
Yeah.
And I think she'll find it very hard to move there all like on 100% basis.
And she may choose to, like, if she's a city girl. In fact, this was exactly a conversation that I had with Ron, who's the fellow down in Phoenix. He was telling me about somebody else who, in this process of figuring out what people want to do in retirement, they were asked to draw a picture of their retirement. And the fellow drew the cottage and the lake, and so he's got this whole thing done up. And the wife drew an urban landscape where she was thinking of, and go, okay, so these, and 6 months later they were separated.
Well,
and I said, probably, he's getting what he wants and she's getting what she wants.
Yeah, and she loves the lake, but she doesn't want to give up that house in the city either.
Yeah.
Because she wants to know that when she goes back there, or wants to go into the city, she's got a place to stay and all that.
Yeah.
Even though she loves the lake, like they've got a brand new home out there. I mean, it's very nice. She loves it. She loves the people. Mm-hmm. But still, is she going to want it 100%?
Full time, yeah. I mean, when we went down to Costa Rica for 3 months, so this was early 2013. We went to France for 3 months, came back here for a month, and then went to Costa Rica for 3 months. Kind of simulating what I had imagined, having a home base in Costa Rica, spending 3 months there, 3 months in France, and then back in Canada, and realizing, no, I don't think we want to do that. So, but you have to try it, right? You have to try it and see how you feel.
And I think you're right, John. It's the fact that you have to try it. And the thing is, I mean, I've traveled a few places, and some of them have been far, but never been there for long enough to say, do I want to go there and spend a month or 6 weeks or whatever it might be. So I hope to experiment a little bit with that too.
Yeah.
Like travel a little bit and see.
Yeah, this January I went with Frank to Bali, to Indonesia.
Right.
And we were there for 3 weeks, and I was thinking, I was so happy to come back to Canada. So I was thinking, okay, that's probably not something that I want to do, is have a place out in Thailand or something,
Right.
You have people who say, yeah, I'm going to retire over there, but all your family, all your friends are back here. So
yeah. And I said once to my daughter, I said, well, plan B is I move to Mexico. And she says, Mother, you won't make it in Mexico.
Why did she say that?
About a year ago.
No,
Yeah.
why did she think that she wouldn't make it?
Why? Well, I don't know. I think I'm, like I like things clean. I like, things like that.
Yeah,
And it's not that I can't put up with some of that stuff in Mexico, but I'm always happy to get back to Canada where everything's, clean and,
yeah,
you know, yeah. So I think it's just maybe she knows me better than I know myself.
yeah, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, Bonnie. Well, thank you very much,
You're welcome.
and good luck
Okay,
at your
thank you.
work. I don't even. What's the name of your organization?
Energy Efficiency Alberta.
Energy Efficiency Alberta. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to Chris, as you know, he applied on a position there, and
Yeah.
um, yeah, they really liked his resume, but somebody else had some qualifications a little bit more what they were looking for,
Yeah.
but he would have been a good, in my view, a good person to bring on, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Is he working? Is he working?
not yet. No, he hasn't found anything. But I mean, he's looking quite widely, and looking even beyond oil and gas. One of the suggestions I had was, yeah, you spent your lifetime in oil and gas, but maybe look elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's even looked at the church, as I don't know what they call, like executive deacon or something like that, to apply his leadership skills in a totally different environment.
Yeah. Right.
And I can see like your organization is going to look for people who have experience in the industry per se, right?
Well, her goal is for us to eventually become a utility.
Really?
And yeah, and
Okay.
it's not like she's just got this wishful thinking. She's very knowledgeable in the industry, and this is something that is potential. And don't ask me to explain everything because I only understand sort of bits and pieces and that. But that is what she wants us to become, is a utility. That we're recognized, that energy efficiency is recognized as a utility. I think it comes from like the electricity off of our energy efficiency projects, our solar projects, that electricity then goes into the power grid.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all things along that line, but that's where we're headed.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I guess because I'm thinking of utility as something that produces the energy, electricity.
They produce the energy, but they also right now the utilities are carrying out the energy efficiency initiatives within their organizations. But I think it's something that we're capable of doing as an organization.
Okay.
Like we're looking at different funding models too for our organization. Okay. Right now we're a Crown Corporation, but we're looking at different ways of funding energy.
Anybody talk to Elon Musk?
To who?
Elon Musk.
I've heard that name, but
well, he's the guy with Tesla and SpaceX and so on. And because of Tesla, he's trying to figure out the battery business, right? And figure out how to get people to be able to use electricity in batteries. So I think in Nevada, I don't know if it's in Nevada, somewhere down south in a desert-like area, they're talking about having a place where not only they produce the batteries, but I think also using solar to charge them and so on. So anyway, he's quite future thinking. So she may want to go and tap his brain.
Yeah, I know she's come across, she's gone for meetings with people and come across areas where there's gaps in our organization. Like people have the innovative tools. They want to introduce them, but they don't have any way of getting them to market.
Okay.
And there's a gap in there that she's recognized and wants to somehow figure out what do we do about this gap.
Yeah. And I would love to get boomers working on new ideas, like stuff. There's so much stuff that's breaking,
Mm-hmm.
and if they could apply their experience, their contacts, and so on to pull some of these things together into new solutions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this. There's a huge amount of intellectual capital that needs to be tapped. That
Yeah.
is there to be tapped.
Yeah.
And how
And
we do that?
this one of our board directors, he's a professor at the U of T,
Hmm.
and he is very knowledgeable and he is very well connected, and he's always forever, you know, introducing Monica to somebody,
Yeah,
and trying to arrange a meeting. Very, very good at that. Like he knows it very well.
good,
Yeah.
good.
So
Well, maybe we'll run into you guys down the road.
well, if you guys are ever getting together for something, just for whatever, give me a shout. I'd love to get together with everyone again.
Okay, we will. I mean, we have been actually getting together. Yesterday, we were at the Canadian Italian Business Association or something.
Is that Eliel's? He belongs to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on that board. So he said, "Hey, John, we're having this." So Mo and myself and he were down there yesterday. And then there's another one that's at the I don't know if it's Kilkenny or one of those places up there for next week. Again, just to get out and start meeting people and seeing who's doing what and try and make some connections. Yeah, because as people come through my course, I want to be able to introduce them to others and say, like, just get together and see what might bubble up.
That's right. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and probably won't see you. Have a good Christmas.
Yes, you too. Okay. See you,
Thanks,
John.
Bonnie.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.